you receive an accepted and admission offer to a university in the USA. What next? In this video, I'll be sharing with you the next steps you need to follow after you accepted an admission offer to study in the USA. I'll discuss with you how to apply for the Form I-20 from your universities, the document checklist you need when applying for the Form I-20, and what you need to do after you receive your Form I-20 from your school. Kindly share this video with anyone who is preparing to study abroad. Thank you for subscribing and smashing the like button. My name is Esther. Welcome to the Visa Experience series. This series will serve as a guide on how to apply for your student visa and also how to ace your student visa interview. Let's get started. As an F or M student who intends to study in the USA, one of the most important forms is the Form I-20. This Form I-20 is also known as the Certificate of Eligibility for Non-Immigrant Status. This form is usually issued by the university's designated school official, that is the DSO, after the student has accepted the offer of admission. This form allows the F or M student to pay the I-901 service fee, that is the Student and Exchange Visitor Information System fee. Also, this form allows the student to apply for the non-immigrant visa to enter the USA. Any accompanying F2 or M2 dependent must also have a Form I-20, which means as a student, if you intend to travel to the USA with your dependents, then you would have to also apply for a Form I-20 for them. A Form I-20 identifies the F or M non-immigrant, that is the student or the dependent, as well as their designated school official. This form also contains other important information such as the name of your school and your program of study. As a F or M non-immigrant, you must keep all the documents of your Form I-20 that you received during the program of study in the USA. Your Form I-20 proves that you are legally enrolled in a program of study in the USA. As such, you would need this form if you need to apply for any benefits applicable to F and M students. If you need to apply for a driver's license or your social security number, then you would need your Form I-20 as well as other documents. Once you accept and confirm your admission, the university will contact you to request the necessary documents. You'll be required to submit documents such as a copy of your passport identification page. It is advisable that when you're submitting these documents, your passport must be valid for at least 6 months past the time your university issues your Form I-20. Also, you'll be submitting a Form I-20 application form to your university as well as proof of financial support. These are the financial document checklist you would need when applying for your Form I-20. Ensure that all these forms are dated no more than 3 months prior to requesting for your Form I-20, and also ensure that they are in English language. After verifying your source of funds, you will be offered the Form I-20. On the first page of your Form I-20, the first section is the Service ID and Biographical Information section. This gives you your Student and Exchange Visitor Information System, that is the Service ID number. That would be all in bold letters. Your service record and ID number is like a payback, that is if you transfer schools or exchange your education level. Your service record goes with you. Unless your record closes or your studies are interrupted, you will have the same service number for the duration of your studies in the USA. Please ensure you review this section carefully to check for any discrepancies. The name on your I-20 should match the name that is listed in your passport. For example, some of you have names that are hyphenated. Ensure this name appears the same way. If it is hyphenated on your passport, ensure it is hyphenated also on your Form I-20. If it is not, or if you observe any discrepancies or any errors in your name or your date of birth, make sure you let the university know so that they can issue you a new Form I-20. The admissions number is always blank. Preferred name, passport name, and legacy name may be left blank. They are not required by the USCIS. The section 2 is the school information section. This section includes the school name, address, and school official information. You can use the information in this section while filling out the DS-160 form, and I will talk to you about that later. Section 3 in this form is the program of study. This section includes information about your level of education, either it's going to be a bachelor's, master's, or doctorate degree, your major and corresponding CIP code, the program start date, and the end date of your program. In most cases, under Major 2, you will always have none. but there will be a course under Major 1, which is the program you have applied to. If any of this information changes at any time, that is, if you change your major, if you need extra time to complete your program, etc., you must contact the Office of International Program in your school to update your record on your I-20 form. The section 4 on this form is the financials. The left-hand column has the breakdown of the cost of your 1 year's attendance at the university, while the right-hand column lists the funding information which you already provided to the university that I discussed about on your I-20 application to the university. If you're a student with multiple sponsors, generally only one sponsor will only be seen on the funding line of your Form I-20. You don't have to worry about this because all your sponsors are listed, you just cannot see them. Anyone who looks into your service record, including a visa officer, will be able to see all your sponsors. If you have multiple sponsors, all your sponsors will be listed under the remarks section. The section 5 on your Form I-20 is the school attestation and the student attestation. This section of the I-20 form is required for validation of this document. Once you have checked all your documents and ensure there are no errors or all the errors have been corrected and you've been given a new Form I-20, ensure that the school's DSO, that is the designated school official who created the document, endorsed this document with a signature to verify that you are attending this institution and you're maintaining their visa status. The DSO may electronically sign the Form I-20 and send it to you electronically. Since after the COVID-19 pandemic, the Form I-20 have been issued to students either electronically or physical copy being sent to their mailing address. Once you have reviewed and verified all the information on your I-20, you must endorse that you certify that all the informations are correct, print the document to sign, and date the student attestation section in a blue ink. By doing this, you're validating the document for use. Make sure you avoid typing your name in the signature section. You need to sign it manually, so which means you will have to print out this document to sign it, or if you have an electronically means of signing the document, you can sign it with your real signature, the same signature on your passport, and you attest a date. It is advised to use the same date as the date you received the Form I-20, or you can use any other date before your visa interview. Only if you are under the age of 18 years, then your parent or guardian will also have to append their signature on this form. They will need to put their name, their signature, the address, and also date this form. This is what you will see on the page 2 of your Form I-20. Do not fill in this page. This page remains blank until you arrive in the USA. Section 6 is the employment authorizations. This section displays employment information only. After your arrival in the USA and you have requested and been approved to work off campus, either on CPT, pre-OPT, post-OPT, or STEM extension, if you're given employment authorization, this section will contain the type of authorization granted to you, including the status of your request, name and the location of the company, and also the length of the employment period. Section 7 is the travel endorsement section. This section contains all travel signature endorsements provided by a designated school official, that is your DSO, and each signature is valid for 1 year from the date signed and attests that the student is attending the institution and maintaining their visa status. On the page 3 of your Form I-20, you will find the terms and conditions you are agreeing to when you sign your I-20 form. This page has very important information regarding your status and policies, which you must abide by, including visa application, employment, extensions, transfers, and re-entry. I will recommend that you read this page carefully before signing your Form I-20 on page 1. After endorsing the Form I-20 with your signature, the next step would be for you to complete the Form DS-160 application. This form is also known as the visa application form. If you want to learn more about how to fill your DS-160 form application and the mistakes to avoid when filling this form, you can use this link right here on the screen. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on another episode of Visa Experience series. Till then guys, stay tuned. Peace.